Welcome to the Greyhaven's Hour, where we explore the forgotten corners of Tolkien's world. Today we're going to laugh, but not lightly, because Tolkien's Middle-earth isn't just tragedy and towering battles. It's also full of riddles, mischief, and a joy of language. In this voice-led journey, we'll explore why Tolkien made Middle-earth funny on purpose, how riddles are a form of ancient magic and moral wisdom, the humour behind characters such as Gandalf, Pippin and Treebeard, the strange hope that comes through hobbit banter, and how Tolkien's wit was shaped by his deep friendship with C.S. Lewis. This is a tribute to Middle-earth's lighter side, not less meaningful, but maybe more unexpected, because sometimes the deepest truths are told in the twinkle of an eye. Let's start with a simple truth. Tolkien had a sharp sense of humour. Despite the weight of myth-giving, he knew that levity was part of life, and that without it, the world would feel hollow. The hobbits are a comic people, intentionally comic, he wrote in a letter. I do not see how even a mythical story can be made interesting unless the ordinary human being is in it somehow. Middle-earth was never meant to be solemn from end to end. It breathes, and part of that breath is laughter. That's why Pippin's antics aren't distractions, they're defences against the dark. Tolkien didn't just write riddles for fun. He believed riddles held power. In The Hobbit, the riddle game between Bilbo and Gollum is one of the most iconic moments in Tolkien's work. But why riddles? Because in ancient traditions, riddles weren't just puzzles, they were tests of fate, wisdom and identity. To speak in riddles was to dance on the edge of music. To name a thing was to know it. To guess rightly was to survive. "This thing all things devours," Gollum hisses. "Time," Bilbo answers, and the game continues. This isn't just a clever contest, it's a spiritual one. Tolkien saw language as sacred, and riddles in his world are a glimpse of that ancient magic. We often think of Gandalf as grave and wise, from calling Pippin a fool of a took, to muttering about going in and coming out again in Moria. Gandalf's wit cuts through tension like his staff through shadow. But he's also one of the most sarcastic characters in Middle-earth, and his humour isn't just comic relief. It's humanising, it grounds him. It shows us that wisdom doesn't always shout, sometimes it shrugs. Gandalf's humour is weary, knowing and sharp. And it's a reminder, even angels in disguise need to chuckle. Then there's the hobbits, Sam and Frodo, Merry and Pippin. What carries them through Mordor isn't just Lambus, it's humour. Even in the darkest moments, they joke about potatoes, songs, and who gets to go home first. This isn't escapism, it's resistance. Tolkien knew from the trenches of World War I, laughter can be a defiance. When Sam says, "We shouldn't be here at all, if we'd known more about it before we started," he's not being foolish, he's being brave. Treebeard, the oldest living thing in Middle-earth, is funny. He's slow, rambling, easily distracted, and yet he's also one of the wisest. There's a quiet joke here. The oldest being takes forever to say anything, because he wants to say it right. Tolkien doesn't just laugh at Treebeard, he laughs with him. He lets us slow down, listen, and find humour in patience. Tolkien didn't write in isolation. He belonged to the Inklings, a literary circle that included C.S. Lewis. They drank, argued, and most of all, laughed. Their friendship was built not just on theology and myth, but on puns, teasings, and riddles. Tolkien once wrote to Lewis, joking, "If you really want to write a moral allegory, do so, but not with elves." Their banter sharpened their minds. And without Lewis's humour, Tolkien may have never finished The Lord of the Rings. The lightness of their friendship echoes in the likeness of Tolkien's prose. One of the most telling things in Lord of the Rings is what happens after the ring is destroyed, the scouring of the Shire. Many readers skip it, but they shouldn't, because here in the final chapters, Tolkien lets humour return. The hobbits outwit ruffians, they banter, they rebuild. There's a joy in the small things, planting trees, making speeches, sharing beer. The darkness has passed, and laughter slowly returns. Tolkien believed laughter wasn't a retreat from reality, but a way to see it more clearly. On Fairy Stories, he writes, "Fantasy remains a human right. We make in our measure, because we are made." And what is humour, if not the ability to see from a new angle, to tilt the truth, and glimpse its shape from the side? When Frodo wakes up and sees Gandalf, he laughs. It's not relief, it's joy. Joy that survived the fire. Back to Riddles. Bilbo's final, accidental riddle, "What have I got in my pocket?" is no riddle at all, because it saves him. It reveals the deeper nature of riddles in Tolkien's world. They don't always solve the mystery, sometimes they are the mystery. Riddles tell us what we don't know. They remind us that wisdom begins with questions, not answers, and that, too, is a joy. In all his letters, stories and lectures, Tolkien never lost his delight in language, in invention, in play. That's the secret light of Middle-earth. Not just the Silmarils, but the sparkle in the eye, the cleverness of Sam, the singing of Tom Bombadil, the riddles of Gollum. Even in shadow there is wit, and with wit comes wonder. Thank you for wandering the lighter paths of Middle-earth with us. If this made you smile, even quietly, you've felt what Tolkien wanted us to feel. Not escape, but re-enchantment. Not silliness, but sacred play. Riddles, jokes, songs, they aren't distractions, they are signposts to joy. So like the hobbits, may you walk through the shadows with a twinkle in your eye. Subscribe, like and share if you'd like more Tolkien, not just in battle, but in laughter. Until next time, may you never stop wondering.